Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I have a guest with me, John Shackle.
How you doing?
Okay, so today we want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e and player tactics and tips. And this particular tip is take adventuring gear. Now don't just take the pack, the standard adventuring pack or explorer kit or whatever it is that you get. Take other items with you, such as rope. You take rope because one, you might have to climb around somewhere, you might have to tie somebody up. It's not necessarily something you'll use in the middle of combat, but it's really important to actually be successful when you're navigating the world of Dungeons & Dragons.
And not all packs contain rope, and you might want a second or third rope because you might need to be going further than 50 feet.
Yep. And when you take that rope, look, hemp rope is quite heavy. You can get silk rope, which is lighter, allows you to take more. I don't think many people pay too much attention to encumbrance nowadays, but when you get a rope, get a grappling hook as well, because you want to be able to grapple onto something. You want to get up a ledge or over a wall.
Be Batman.
That's right. Things like knotting the rope will make it easier for you to climb the rope, so make sure you have a rope that's knotted as well. It's one of the standard features that most people who play Dungeons & Dragons know is make sure you have a knotted rope. Even if you have a standard rope that isn't knotted, you should have one that is knotted, just to make it easier to clamber up it. Things like the climber's kit, to allow you to climb up a feature, because you can't fall more than 25 feet before you'll be held in place by your pitons. You have a harness, you have hammers, so it's a really good thing for dealing with really sheer cliff faces, climbing over walls that have got a really smooth surface. Yeah, basically the most sensible piece of equipment you can take for doing anything.
Scroll cases, lanterns is also a good one. So, because you need oil for the lanterns. I said,
there's a good point. Oil.
Yeah, oil.
Why would you take oil? You take oil because you can throw oil onto a location and make it burn.
Yep. Well, you need a fire source as well, but
yeah, you do, and that's why you don't want to just be walking around with somebody who can cast light. You still want to have torches with you because they can be lit in tinder.
Yep.
To actually light things up, create fire, so you can burn stuff. Caltrops.
Caltrops, yep. They're good for people that need to run away quickly.
Yep. So you just take them out, you drop them in a 5-foot space, and they basically are going to cause a bit of damage as they try to chase after you. So that can be really helpful.
Yep.
Ball bearings.
Same thing. They could technically slip instead of being hit. Or if you want to make a real nasty combo, ball bearings and caltrops.
Yeah, that's the one. So yeah, a very sensible thing to take along. How many times have you seen in a movie somebody falling and slipping because there's round things on the ground? So ball bearings are really helpful for doing that as well. Another really very sensible thing to take is the eyeglass.
Oh yes, especially if you want to see distances.
Yeah. So if you want to see a long way away, then take one of those, because that will help you actually spot dangers, things that could be a threat to you, give you more information as you're playing the game. Another really common thing that people tend to forget, and that is the 10-foot pole. Now, why do you take the 10-foot pole?
Checking traps to make sure you don't get hit by them.
That's right.
Or worse, when you're trying to figure it out where the hole is in a swamp.
Yeah. So yeah, the 10-foot pole is a really difficult thing to carry around with you. So if you can get a dungeon master who will allow you to have an extendable pole that retracts, that'd be awesome. But if you can't, a 10-foot pole is really helpful for finding dangers. And you don't necessarily have to take it with you. You could create it by just cutting a branch off and creating it from a tree.
Yep.
Tree branch. There's your 10-foot pole. So just remember that you can create your own adventuring gear as you go.
Heelas Kit is also a very good one to have, because if you don't have a cleric, or the cleric unfortunately runs out of spells, Heelas Kit can stabilize a character and saves them from dying.
Yeah, and it's automatic. You don't have to make any check for that if you use a Heelas Kit.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle of combat, you can do that. The DC's 10, but if you have a Heelas Kit, you don't have to worry about rolling the dice.
And another unpopular one, always make sure someone has a second Thieves Tools Kit. You never know when the first one could break or the road goes down. And even if you're not proficient in it, if you have it, you can still try and do those traps.
Yeah. Also too, there's another one, traps. You can actually purchase traps yourself and place them around your campsite or in a location where you know somebody's going to be following you. Maybe you're dealing with a situation where you know you might be getting into danger and you might have to escape, and it's a 5-foot space and there's walls on the side. You place a trap down in that location, you move forward, you know where it is, you can jump over, it's only a 5-foot jump, not going to be too much of an issue. No. You jump over it, they run around the corner and step on the trap.
Yep.
And you can disguise that trap as, that's a really sensible way of dealing with a situation. Also great for placing them around your campsite rather than just using the alarm spell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another interesting one I would probably suggest would be to take manacles or, ball and chain, just in case you need to take a prisoner, or one of your player characters has turned evil and you need to pacify them.
Okay, that can happen, but yes, manacles are a good idea. Another one is potions of healing. If you have enough money, buy yourself at least one potion of healing. You do not know when suddenly the person who's supposed to be doing the healing in the group in the middle of battle can't do it because they're too busy, or they decide not to do it, or they run out of spells, or they go down and you have to heal yourself, or you need to heal somebody else, and having that potion of healing to pour down somebody's throat will make all the difference.
So yeah, so pretty much what we could say is just make sure you have plenty of random equipment, because you never know when you could use it, and there's always chances where you might have a random item and it could have a beneficial use if you think about it creatively.
Yeah. And look, that's really all we have to say on taking adventuring gear. We've given you a few ideas about some of the basics, the really standard stuff that most people know who've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for a very long time. Look, if you found this video helpful or informative, please share, like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Look, if you have any questions or anything to add, any suggestions you would like to add that you feel we didn't put in this video, put them in the comments. That can be helpful to somebody else. Until next time, John,
keep rolling those 20s.
See you later.